pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we will continue our reviewing tonight. After done with that, before we leave, we'll decide on July meeting dates. Based on how we do tonight, how far we get, don't get. Committee members, any thoughts? Okay, Max.
All right, so last time we were on, we were just starting section 8, marine resources. I have all of Leah's notes here for any spelling errors and grammatical errors that need to be corrected. We'll do what we've been doing. I'll go page by page, and if anyone has an issue, please raise it. So 8-1, Leah already had one item on the third paragraph. Other land uses that may have an adverse impact. Just gotta add that. Anything else for page 1? Hearing none, we'll move on to page 2. Are there any notes for page 2? Leah has something at the bottom of it. She's not positive about ESC Marine.
It's in Woolwich. It's used to sell boats and motors new. Now it's just repair outboards, and so it is kind of a marina. There's no water access there, it's on the land only, but it does repair boats and motors.
So should we leave it in there?
I think we should. It does give people an option to get repairs done.
And it is the BFC Marine.
It's BFC.
BFC or BFCO?
Yes. Either one will suffice.
Okay. Anything else for page 2? Hearing none, move on to page 3.
Next to the last paragraph, the last, where it says 22 feet at BLW.
Below low water. Oh, wait, no. 22 feet out.
It should be high water.
It has 22 feet out.
If
Or
mean low water,
it could be mean low.
Mean low water.
I think it's mean low, there's mean low water in a sentence.
We never changed
Yeah,
that.
that's probably, yeah, that might have just been a accident there.
Just typing too fast, probably.
Probably.
What's it supposed to be?
Probably.
MLW.
Yeah.
Mean low water.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Is that LW?
No, the last,
The last word.
The last one says DLW.
right here, above.
Oh,
Mean low water as opposed to friendly low water.
so what's that supposed to be?
MLW.
LW.
Oh, so all three of them are the same.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else on page 3? All right, moving on to page 4. Yeah, I have a few changes here.
What's the yellow? I didn't
That was
understand.
something that Leah raised before this meeting, and
BFC is not in Bath anymore.
yeah.
Woolwich.
Yep, she noticed Woolwich, and she wants to remove after and boat services including waste holding tank pump out facilities, however, this is only for their members.
Right.
Alright,
In the last paragraph I mentioned before, the second sentence, the density of moorings in the area is becoming a problem for safe navigation. It's not.
alright. Remove that sentence?
Yeah, we should.
Which sentence?
The second sentence in the last paragraph, the density of moorings in these areas is becoming a problem for safe navigation.
Yep.
It's not. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be in a boat.
Right, and
Well,
that's,
there's a lot of that.
Yeah, right.
And we did have one more for the moorings item. There were,
septic.
No septic,
The
pump out.
first septic, the second line on the first paragraph under moorings.
oh, that whole sentence Leah is suggesting to remove. For larger vessels staying over in West Bath for extended periods, there was no septic. Pump out facilities available nearby. She has that crossed out. Is there any?
Well, I don't know why you.
I think that's important to have in there.
But septic needs to be septic.
Right, that's his spell.
What do you think, Paul?
Is it somewhere else in this material, that same information?
It's, the next paragraph is in Cummings Harbor.
So we, okay.
We have no place really to pump out in West Bath. It should be noted, I believe.
Yeah, so we probably should leave it in there.
That actually goes better with the third paragraph under that heading. Start the thing under mooring, start with the second paragraph, take that paragraph up there and put it down to the next one.
So,
Actually, the last one.
No.
To what? Oh,
So,
move that to the next page.
Yeah, right,
Next
right.
page.
that's true, and that may be why she.
Right, and maybe we don't need it if we look at that last
Last
there's 3 paragraphs in this, and we maybe don't need it because of what this says in the last paragraph.
so just put the 294 moorings in 2021 West Bath and just move that to the third paragraph?
Right. No, keep the,
Delete the first paragraph if you move that sentence.
no, you can keep the first sentence in that, but delete the second.
Right.
So there were 294 moorings in 2020 in West Bath, and that's its own paragraph?
Yes,
Okay.
Move
and then move the second, you wanna move the second sentence there
Okay.
after it?
We should include this, that sentence with the last sentence.
Somehow,
The last sentence on the next page of the first paragraph.
All right, so,
Combine saying something like, there is no septic pump out in West Bath, the nearest is located at Cummings Harbor.
Right, so
right,
the sentence we're moving should be the second sentence in the next paragraph of Cummings Harbor, right?
Combined together.
Right. For larger vessels staying over West Bath for extended periods. Well,
okay.
there's already a sentence there.
And if we just qualify and quantify that there's no place in West Bath and the nearest is Cummings Harbor.
Right.
Okay. All right. Anything else for page 4? Hearing none. Page 5. Obviously, all that with the third paragraph. And you got-
Page 5, the little paragraph right above table 8.2, the third line. New Meadows River is under consideration to focus on the pollution on the peninsula. I don't understand what pollution on the peninsula is. That sentence doesn't make sense to me. The focused regional plan for New Meadows River is under consideration to focus on the pollution on the peninsula.
The next sentence.
Well, the previous sentence is talking about how the Casco Bay Regional Plan originally was covering identifying and eliminating these pollution sources.
Yeah, but what's pollution on the peninsula? You mean the pollution of the water from the peninsula? Do you mean,
If you go up here, they're talking about unidentified pollutions.
I guess you could just get rid of on the peninsula, since we already mentioned New Meadows River earlier in that sentence.
Sure.
Or you could get rid of everything after consideration.
Yeah.
Because the next sentence, the pollution from due to the fact, it's, there's
yeah,
something missing there.
that was what I was gonna bring up next, when we solve this one. The pollution from due to the factors doesn't make any, that's.
Yeah,
So if we change it, it would read, though there are no formal local plans to address the issue, the Casco Bay Plan was a regional plan covering 2016 to 21 to identify and eliminate pollution sources. A focused regional plan for the New Meadows River is under consideration, period.
Yep.
And then pollution from,
yeah,
the pollution due to the factors listed above, eliminate from,
yeah.
while closing off the larger portion of it, so it's not impacted. Okay, so I think it's fine after that, if you make those changes. Yeah?
Sounds good?
I wrote a question mark in the last sentence. New Meadows River still does not impact a large portion of the shellfishing industry. However, opening up the prohibited and conditional flats can lead to new areas for the local industry.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
That's
I'm not sure what you're saying.
I
That's,
think they're saying based on the shellfish harvest statewide, West Bath is not a major percentage or impact on those total numbers of bushels and or dollars brought in. But this is a state, it's got a little aspect there, right?
Yeah, it's just asking about, the checklist item is just talking about, just the clam flats, how impactful are they to the area? So they're not so it's not a huge industry, but if more flats open up, that can certainly improve the local industries.
I think you need it, that sentence needs to be broken.
Split.
yeah, that's
I'd say
a
that-
long run-on sentence.
Yeah,
Pollution from the factors instead of
So in that case, I'm fine with splitting it, so a period at shellfish industry, and then just a new sentence, that would get rid of however, and,
In opening up, something like that.
How about the
Make it
pollution
simple.
from factors listed above contribute to the closing of a large portion of New Meadows River, period? This still does not impact a large portion of the shellfish industry. There's too many,
just reword it.
He broke it down,
I'll just reword it.
okay?
Yeah.
Anything else for page 5? Hearing none, page 6.
I'm not sure you want to change it, but on the analysis, the first sentence, the reopening of closed clam flats, and then it goes on to say, approach to shellfish flats, so we should both be shellfish flats, I would say.
and in the second paragraph, instead of saying not particularly, can we say not usually? What's a better word?
Second pair, not usually, yep.
West Main,
Yeah, I found it, not
Okay.
usually.
I have a question on the paragraph, the final part of the paragraph above that. Do we need the last sentence there, environmental contamination? Because we've already talked about that previously. Or you can put it in, that's fine, okay. Let's just move on. It's not worth thinking about.
All right, anything else for page 6? Anything else for the marine resources section? Then we'll put that down and go on to public facilities and services. We'll start with page 1.
On the third paragraph.
Yep.
The second to last full line, the sentence that starts, the town receives ambulances services. It's one ambulance service. One ambulance services.
Unless there are two sent out, right?
And sometimes they do
Come in pairs.
Yeah.
Leah had a note that the third paragraph, this is a lot of regional information covered in one paragraph. So I don't know if she's trying to advocate for maybe splitting it into 2 or more paragraphs to go over all the different regional services.
I would leave it.
I think it's
I'd
fine.
leave
I think it's fine.
Yeah,
Okay. Then on the fourth paragraph, the highlighted items can be removed, but this is just a note, that paragraph was something that we did have in the land use section, and I feel it fits a little bit better in the public facilities and services section, just talking about the total number of acreage and the town-owned land, well, buildings, yeah, town-owned buildings, just because this is what's being talked about in this section, so it seems to fit a lot better here than in the land use section.
Okay.
Assume it's all fine.
I have a question about the last part of this with the board and committees. The first sentence is fine. But the second sentence says, all of the town officials are appointed by the select board. Is the principal superintendent appointed by the select board, or is it by the school board?
School board.
yeah, not by the select board.
School board's their own.
That's what I thought. I
You
didn't know.
Right, you can just say all town officials are appointed by the select board and the school by the school board.
Maybe just leave it at all other town officials are appointment based.
I would stop at appointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good.
So we don't worry about who's appointing who.
Right.
Oh, no,
Who's appointing who?
Alright. Anything else for page 1?
On these committees, could we designate which ones are not ongoing committees?
well, these are all ongoing except for the question of the road committee.
Yeah, I think I had already updated to remove the ones that were outdated, unless there's something that's,
No, but they won't, for instance, we'll have an ending date, we're not an ongoing all the time committee.
I could instead make an update on the narrative one, comprehensive plan committee, and I'll just put a note there saying the committee closes out once this
Plan is
plan
adopted.
is adopted, yeah.
Thank you.
But the road committee is no longer with us, Christine?
Correct.
So this, on this page, as well as page 3, needs to come out.
So the road committee is removed. Same thing on page 3. And then we had and the comprehensive plan is a committee, not a task force, correct?
Committee.
Okay.
Under the investment committee,
All right.
I think that sentence should read, the investment committee examines and recommends to the select board investment options for long-term capital improvement funds to best utilize the capital improvement fund.
Yep.
To best utilize the capital improvement fund.
We have that as well.
Yeah,
That reads better.
yeah.
And then comprehensive plan, there are 7 members, right? Wait, there were 7 members? I had 7 members from the website.
Well, there's only 6 now,
Yeah, one failed a year ago.
so there's only 6. And so we didn't bother to put in 2 alternates because we don't have, we never had alternates.
Anything else?
What's the standpoint of the broadband task force? Is that finished?
No, they're still looking at,
Option.
expansion and options.
That'll probably be ongoing.
No.
At some point it should
I don't think
end
so.
once it's everywhere.
But then it's
Looking
all
for
about
grants.
upgrading it.
Yeah,
Well-
I think it would be ongoing for a while anyway.
Okay.
Anything else from page 2? Hearing none. Page 3. So,
Road committee disappears.
road committee's gone.
Paragraph 6. It starts a winter salted sand mixture. You just need to capitalize the B in bath in the last line. Maybe that was already done.
No,
No,
Okay.
he put some like this in just to see if we're reading these things or not.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Just to test us a little bit. So luckily you caught that call.
You mean while the town office is open or when the town office is open?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
While sounds like either way, I guess.
We had just some notes for town buildings, Chet and Barbara Swain Meeting Hall at the West Bath Fire Department building.
Good to qualify there.
And then it's the old West Bath Meeting House. And behind and exterior to the lower level of the town hall is the garbage and garden composting receptacle.
I think you should reverse that and say the garbage and composting receptacle is located behind the town.
Behind the town hall.
Yeah, instead of starting with where it's located.
Yeah.
Take out the low levels of,
Yeah. The garbage and garden composting receptacle.
Is in the lower parking lot of the
Yes.
town hall.
I would just say behind the town,
It's behind the town
it's
hall.
behind the town office.
Is it garbage to garden compost?
We don't need the lower levels.
And then minor corrections. Anything else on page 3? Page 4?
The second code enforcement officer, in that paragraph, down to the bottom, I guess of the second to last sentence. Note a desire to see more enforcement on individuals who are actively violating standards. I don't think actively should be in there.
Where's this?
And then towards the end,
Okay.
at the second sentence from the left.
Actively violating standards regarding unregistered vehicles and junkyards.
That was the thing that came up so much in the survey.
And they're like, I know, they're doing it on
Is the
purpose.
CEO the planning board secretary?
Is that active or passive?
That's Carly. The CEO is not the planning board secretary.
So, in that same paragraph, the CEO, the town should also consider the CEO prioritizing their limited time. I'd scratch the limited time.
So take out in.
Just limited then, prioritize their time.
Prioritizing time to focus on permits and violations and simplify administrative responsibilities.
Okay.
And take out in the, and being the planning board secretary, he's not the planning board secretary. Just period at the end of the proposal.
I don't know where you are.
Third line,
Above, third line. Who is the planning board secretary?
Carly.
Oh,
Yeah. Staff is always the committee support.
Uh,
I still don't know where you are.
I don't know, as we, that last sentence, the town should consider the CEO prioritizing that.
Prioritizing.
I don't,
That's,
you
I
wanna
think-
forget, you wanna forget that sentence
I don't like
So,
that
yeah.
sentence. I don't like
So
it.
that sentence was more because of the beginning part where it's talking about the CEO doing all this stuff with the planning board. If that's not the case, then we could get rid of that.
I agree with the whole last sentence.
Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
Okay.
He knows it, we don't have to write it down. That it's an issue of concern.
Anything else on page 4?
Yeah, on the very bottom, can you say, West Bath is the home to the district courthouse on, 101 Meadow Road, and then say which, or courthouse, which primarily handles criminal matters and civil offenses, and then put it's run by the, is it the building that's run by it, or the courthouse is run by it?
Both. And it's New Meadows Road, not
Yeah,
Meadows
no,
Road.
yeah.
So, other than the 2 minor changes, what am I changing to the district court?
What was your thought on that?
I'm
Oh,
just
so
like,
get rid of the
right,
period?
no, I think she wants to say West Bath is home to the district court at 101 New Meadows Road.
Which this building is run by the state of Maine judicial departments?
no,
Or no?
what is
This-
purpose? I want
this-
its purpose to be part of the,
Right.
of the first sentence.
Okay.
This, well, you could say this building primarily handles minor criminal matters and civil offenses and is run by the. your
Yeah, either
state-
way,
state
Yeah.
put it together
judicial department.
somehow.
Yeah, change
I
it to
don't
the end of
care.
that sentence, yeah.
Okay.
It's in the fine print next.
Actually, you should say this court is run by is primarily
Not the
handles.
building, the courthouse.
Yes, this court primarily handles minor criminal matters and civil offenses and is run by the state of Maine Judicial Department.
All right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I got a problem with the last sentence on the last, the big paragraph under utilities, the 3rd paragraph.
Okay.
to just, what, as part of that public outreach survey, 59.2% of the residents stated they want West Bath to continue exploring to improve internet coverage, which is increased to 87.4% if West Bath seeks outside sources for funding. That's a long run-on sentence. And
So I could do a period then, to improve internet coverage, period. 87.4% of West Bath residents,
Would like to seek outside.
would seek to improve internet coverage if outside sources of funding were provided.
yes.
Yeah.
Then moving on to page 5.
I have one simple little, it's a preference, but you may not want to change it. Marine Resources Board, that first paragraph, that last sentence of that paragraph, the Marine Resources Board makes recommendation to the town office for in following areas. I've said for the following areas. Could be just in the following areas, but I left the for, in, and the.
And do they make it to the town office or do they
No,
make it to the select board?
It's to the select board.
Does a marine officer develop its own regulations, the first sentence on that page? I don't think he does.
The board?
The harbor master reviews, the harbor master does not develop his own.
Oh, I'm down in marine resources. Did we do our master?
Let's finish
Let's do
this
the
first.
Yeah.
Let's finish this one first.
So managing is carried. The Marine Resources Board makes recommendation to the Select Board for the following areas.
For the, okay. The last paragraph, right in the middle where it says receding clam beds,
Shellfish.
shellfish.
Does that happen?
They have in the past, yes, it does have recede.
Okay.
Where are you at, David? I don't see it.
Right in the middle of that, it says, the fourth line down, by shellfish habitat includes surveying and reseeding of shellfish beds. It says clam beds there,
Oh, okay.
change that to shellfish beds.
If you go to paragraph 3,
Okay.
okay, paragraph 3, take out the may and make continues plural, continue plural. So continues, as the volume of water traffic continues to increase.
Okay.
And the next, the first line in the next sentence, as the number of applicants for new moorings increases each year, take out continues to.
Okay. And there was some item on the harbor master that was being talked about earlier. What was that about?
The harbor master does not develop the rules.
Well, is he involved
He
with them?
No.
No,
He just
he
administers.
administers.
He has no input? You wouldn't,
He is not providing input, no.
So the harbor master just administers the town rules.
Who decides what are the rules?
The select board in the town.
right, I hope they would confirm.
Yeah, but this makes it sound like he
He's
does
the-
it
it's
on
not
his
his-
own.
yeah.
It's-
I agree with
That's
that.
not what he does.
Well, who does
The town,
oversee resolving the problems between the budding landowners?
he's administering the rules, he's not developing them. He administers the rules.
The town is responsible for ratifying potential rule changes. It says further down in that paragraph.
Does the last sentence read, in that same paragraph read, with a great deal of autonomy? Does that need to be there?
No.
Was that in the previous ordinance?
I would say, I would combine that last sentence and the first sentence. The harbor master enforces the ordinance, waterways, navigation, and mooring regulations. That's what he does. He doesn't develop or administer.
Enforces.
He enforces the ordinance and waterways. He doesn't develop them.
I think that's actually more like the second sentence. I
Hmm.
think it should be more of the second sentence. The harbor master administers this, and then the harbor master, or maybe just take out the harbor master and just say, with select board, with the select board,
The harbor master with us, let me,
yeah. Like that's probably more of the second sentence.
But the harbor master enforces the town's rules on waterway navigation, water pollution uses. They also enforce the ordinances.
So it says in the first paragraph,
Yeah.
can somebody read to me what it's gonna sound like?
Well, it's back and forth on what it is. It's either,
when have you got down past?
Yeah, what do you got?
I have it as the harbor master administers the town's rules on waterway navigation, water pollution, harbor uses, applicable state and federal laws on watercraft mooring. And the next sentence would be, the harbor master with the select board, when needed, enforces the ordinances, waterways, navigations, and moorings regulations.
And then the town is responsible for ratifying potential
Yes.
rule changes.
Yes.
The rules are codified in the waterways and harbors ordinance, yes.
That means that-
That makes it orderly.
Okay. Anything else for page 5? Hearing none, we'll go on to page 6.
In the first paragraph there, the end sentence, I'm looking at you. There's no way that we're ever gonna be able to enlarge off-street parking, is there? I mean, should that even be in there?
Only if we
It's
buy
all-
property.
It's
It's
never
a
end.
goal, it's a goal.
Okay,
Right.
Very expensive goal.
Right, but that's why we have in the comp plans that if there's ever a chance, a grant that could help pay for it,
Plan for Maine's future.
plans for Maine future.
Right, and it does, the issue does keep popping up all the way through here, so it must be important.
then I changed that sentence to read, the select board continues to, try and develop, or find ways, to enlarge off-street parking.
No,
I think it's good the way it is.
I think it's fine the way
Is
it
it
is.
that, okay?
It's up to the town, it's up to the select board that they would vote on that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more of a strategy for the
The
implementation section.
second from the last paragraph, I think we should drop, while cultivation of soft shell plants has replaced co-ops in the Meadows River, the general increase on main stop at the main coast all, and just get rid of that whole first part of the sentence, and start with agriculture may bring new.
So you wanna get rid of that?
I want to get rid of the
part you read?
first part of it, because soft shell plants has not replaced co-ops,
Oh, get rid of the first part of it, okay.
and start the sentence at agriculture may bring new.
That you, how about starting with the general increase along Maine Coast Act?
No. I think we should start with agriculture. It's talking about our waters, so I just soon start with our waters and not the general coast of Maine.
continues in the New Meadows River that it replaces.
It's Taiwan River, I think,
That doesn't need to be said.
Okay. So I just had it as, to suggest where that paragraph will start with aquaculture may bring new oyster, may bring new. Seems weird to have aquaculture may bring new oyster.
Right, the
Oyster
two words
farms.
are.
Oyster farms.
Oyster Farms.
And then, Leah just had a change at the very bottom. The increasing number of wild geese along the Atlantic Flyway also poses a risk of water contamination.
It does. You know, the last paragraph, the first sentence, the resource soft shell harvests, that's shellfish harvesters.
Sorry.
So it's just blanket shellfish harvest?
Yeah.
Okay.
And should continue, it just doesn't,
Yeah.
that's part of their way to earn their conservation time. Should continue.
Yeah.
To put,
Leah just has it as putting conservation time, so should continue putting conservation time into their flags.
And in the second sentence, the recent state assisted program is not recent.
State assisted program.
Yeah.
And it should be, even though the town's population is increased instead of wild.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright. For page 7, second line from the bottom, Leah has this written, and the department has adequate staff. Instead of is not losing staff.
Where are you talking?
Public safety, policing and dispatch,
Oh, okay.
second line from the bottom.
oh,
I have a question about, that pertains to that. After you indicate that only 5.7 did not approve the emergency services, do you need those next two sentences? There are concerns about the sheriff's department being spread too thin and whether vacancies can be filled soon. And the town should monitor the sheriff's department's staffing changes to ensure there are sufficient deputies.
That's not our call.
That's his business,
Yeah.
and he's a good sheriff, so, you know.
I got an issue with the 5.7. I went back to the survey. We had 71 responders, 5.7% is 4 people. I don't think that deserves being talked about in here.
Maybe not, but it does indicate the general approval of the population with.
Well, and it's also saying that,
As
not that, I mean, you,
Why don't you flip
That's-
that and say 94% of
Yeah, why
approval?
don't you change it to the positive instead
Yeah,
of
94%
negative?
approve of it, instead of 57%.
because it's saying less than 6% of people aren't fine with it, that's a
So-
low percentage.
but-
So we can have it the other way around.
But that,
Yeah, say 94% of the surveyed population, like,
Approve of the emergency services.
yes.
yes,
And,
That may not be true, because we had a whole bunch of people that said they didn't know. They didn't all, there was a,
Because if you didn't use it, it was not applicable, therefore it changes the number.
yeah, I don't remember the numbers. I did look up the 5.7 because it caught my
Right.
attention. But I also remember, hang on, I got the darn thing.
Could we say majority?
Let me tell you what it was, because I just remembered, I've got it here. I think,
Take your time, sir.
right here. There were 71 responses. What people dislike about West Bath.
So while he's getting that,
I'm not sure I got the numbers here.
so while
Oh,
he's,
here it is.
okay.
Maybe. No, I don't have it.
So while he's doing that, are we just getting rid of those next two sentences about the concerns that were raised?
I think we should. I agree with Paul. You know, the fire department, the last sentence, in training is reimbursed by the town of West Bath. That's part of the pay, isn't it? It's not reimbursed, it's part of the overall pay, isn't it?
What are we talking about?
Fire department,
Okay.
first paragraph, last sentence, and training is reimbursed by the town of West Bath. Training is not separately paid for, it's all paid for as training, calls.
Yeah, it's not reimbursed, we just pay for it.
I think it should be dropped, that last should be dropped.
The last,
And training is reimbursed.
okay.
To emergency calls and training, then scratch it. Is reimbursed by the town of West Bath. And the next paragraph, last sentence, maybe I'm wrong, I'm just reading it the wrong way, but firefighting vehicles and equipment is owned, that should be our own, I don't know.
Our own.
I don't have the percentages that said they liked the way it was. I just knew the overall number, and 5.7% seemed like a small number.
So,
But there's a chunk of people in a lot of that survey that said they didn't know on certain things. So I don't know it'd be right. I mean, I'd love to make it positive,
Well, it's just, in
but I
this,
don't know what the number would be.
well, in this case, it only reacted to the number of people who did respond.
But there's not, it's just another way of saying it, it's not that, because I agree with you, if they said NA, which means they didn't use it, they have no comment, good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
So I don't think we should.
They're indifferent or have no experience.
Right, so you
So
can't.
let's put it this way, do you favor a positive and negative number there, Paul?
Or just
I
change.
know, Paul, do you favor a positive, negative number there? The 5.7 to 95 or 94.3?
What the right positive number is, which we don't know what it is.
Right, that's the point, we don't have it.
So I would then favor the negative number.
Well, but we can figure out what the positive number
No,
is.
no, we can't really, because we don't know the NAs, what they really think.
We've got the data somehow.
But NA doesn't mean
hold on,
anything.
let's back up just a minute, because I see everyone's gonna talk. So, I can certainly see what that breakdown is, because it's like all the other charts I've done, where it says, this is how many people said yes, this is how many people said no, this is how many people said not applicable, because they just didn't know. So I can get those three numbers,
Yes.
but then it's gonna be down to, the yes might be
50
40%.
It might be
But-
57%.
but
Well, yes.
what you say in research like that is that you know, even if you have a large number that say that they don't know because they have no experience, you still have this small group of people who commented, and those are the ones that you're talking about. And he, instead of he can put a number in, he could say most people didn't have experience with the sheriff's department,
No.
but,
You don't know that.
Well, let her finish.
well, all right, but you can talk about the ones who commented only, you know, say,
Or you could say, for the majority of those that reviewed the service
Let's,
were pleased, while only 5.7% used it,
Responded.
were
Let's-
displeased.
how about we just make it a little simpler and saying, residents that responded to the survey indicated that the policing and dispatch arrangement with the county is meeting the current needs of West Bath.
fine,
And drop the percentages and everything else.
Okay.
Thank you.
fine.
I was just trying to give the sheriff's department a little
Yeah.
I don't know, you know,
And then we'll drop the next two sentences as Paul indicated.
Instead of the town can also contact, may contact, the town may
a
contract,
contract
may contract.
with the sheriff for a dedicated deputy to operate more frequent patrols in West Bath.
That was just to tie into that one sentence where someone said, "Oh, well, I'm concerned that there's not the response time was like the one thing that was coming up in the comments. Where that's what people were concerned about. So that's why I have that saying, well, you can work out contracts if you're that concerned about it.
Right. In that sentence, after the comma, I think you're gonna eliminate the rest of that. The department is now,
Yes.
and the department is now losing additional staff.
Yeah, Leah had that changed to, and the department has adequate staff.
Yeah.
So just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Do we even need the town can also contract with the sheriff's department?
Yeah.
You think we do? I mean, that's gonna go through the whole process of town meeting and everything else, but it's,
I mean, they, you know,
It's more just saying that's an option, and then Harpswell's just the example of.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
for instance, if enough citizens call the sheriff's department about a specific issue, the department will respond to that, so.
All right,
Could I ask a question about the table? No, the comments, the writing about the table, I don't know what these two outlayer years mean.
Where?
For table 4-1,
Yeah. On the bottom of page 7,
okay?
it talks about it. You say, despite two outlier years, I don't know what those are, which ones those are referring to. And why are they outliers?
Because starting from 2010, or I'm sorry, not 2010.
Yeah, 2010.
2010.
Yeah, I guess it was. All right, it
The
was
two
fire,
zeros.
for fire-related calls, there was a downward trend starting in 2010, and then it just started going up in 2014, and then, no, not 2014, I'm sorry, 2017 and then 2020, where they both spiked to 60, which were completely different compared to every other year. That's why I was saying that, but I can say what the outlier years are.
Yeah, just say it in 2021 and 2023. Thank you.
What else is going on? And Leo was asking if traffic hazards are considered accidents. Traffic hazards is just how it was broken down in the charts that I was given by the chief.
Okay.
You all did ask for vehicle accidents to have that in the chart separate from fire and medical and mutual aid. So that's all I really do. I don't know if that's gonna impact, if you guys want me to try and dig a little more, or if
That's the information the chief gave you?
that was the call list. I can double check with him to make sure that that's it.
Now, we can also ask him to look at it too when he reviews this, Christine?
I think there's going to be more changes with the staff reviews these sections.
Yes.
Page 8.
The first sentence under the table in that first paragraph is a little awkward. You might want to change it to say the fire department continues to look for them. I mean, they may be studied, but they're also looking for alternate ways to better respond to perceived trends, including the purchase of a new rescue truck.
Anything else, page 8? Page 9?
The last thing is Sanford Road and Sanford Crossing Road.
Where?
The last bullet.
Last road, this is Sanford Road, it's Sanford Crossing Road.
I got a different problem. There is one bullet point on the top of the next page. And somehow you gotta reformat it to get it so it's at the bottom of this list.
It all is gonna be reformatted when there's no more corrections being made.
Okay, but just make sure that happens.
Yep.
Having one thing sit up there all by itself, what the heck, state road, state aid? Oh, it's part of this list.
All right. Next page. We have a question under solid waste and recycling.
Yeah, the committee is not the committee anymore. Second sentence,
Yeah.
that's the select
That's
board.
sentence, the select board. And then they have a question. The town website says that the center accepts, number 1 through 5 colored plastics. Is that true, or is it just 1 and 2?
How detailed does the state need it to be?
For this section, for the transfer station, doesn't have to be empty.
Because a lot of these things don't match.
They don't match and they can change from time to time based on the market.
Yeah.
And they're on the contract too.
Yeah, so I personally would not put that much detail in there.
I would agree.
So just take the numbers out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just other colored plastics.
Mm-hmm.
How about putting in the word acceptable? So they can't come and say, oh, you said you take everything.
But the whole thing is, I don't know if they don't take refrigerators free anymore.
They don't do what?
Take refrigerators free.
I know.
They don't.
I mean, stores, they charge for those, so this whole, we can't get too involved, but it's all gonna change.
Well, and maybe put in there, just say a list of billable items is available on the website.
But if-
That's,
I was about to say, we can just say, to find out what's acceptable, go to the town website.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you're referencing where people can find this information.
Yes, and you do state the town of Westwood's currently, we should say currently renegotiating contract as of this year, 2023. So people know this may change, so add that someplace to it.
In all of this writing about this, I don't see anywhere where it mentions that to use this facility as a private citizen, you're now expected to have a town-issued decal.
Well, that might change too.
So that might change.
Yeah.
Go back to the old way.
No, actually, they want to use the punch card system, so that's something that we might talk about. I'm concerned about putting a lot of detail in this section.
It's gonna change, it may change 5 years from now.
Yeah.
Okay?
If you clarify, as Max said, by putting some kind of disclaimer saying, go to the town's website or check in the town office, people know where to go for more information. It's the same thing on the next page, all these fees and,
I would definitely take out the stoves and refrigerators, like, because those are not free. At all.
So, what I'm gonna do, starting from currently the center accepts the following no charge, that whole, starting from there and going all the way to free on removed, That's just going to be replaced with, to find out what is accepted by the drop-off center, please refer to the town website.
Bingo, I'll go with that.
Terrific.
Where does that start at currently?
And it's gonna be,
And that's all gonna be removed, and it's just gonna be replaced with something saying, go to the town website if you want to see what's accepted.
That's safer.
and for what fee? Say, what is accepted for free and what is,
Which
They go to the
currently,
town's website, they find
which
it.
currently we're going with, is that top?
The one that is the third sentence of solid waste and recycling. Currently, the center accepts the following at no charge. Starting from that area, going all the way to Crown.
I still don't know where you.
Right here.
I see this.
You got it. Right there, and this, and I'll go this way.
Oh, I was talking. A lot of this detail over the next page.
Okay, that clarifies, cleans it up good.
And you're gonna clean up each of those others also, right?
Which others?
Well, you've got prices and,
Well, that's the next page.
Next page.
okay.
It's still on.
Yeah, when we get to the next one, solid waste recycling.
We also with 910, you think, next?
Yeah,
Okay.
when we get into the solid waste and recycling, I just have that as, when you're done with it, the town office is gonna review and they're gonna say what the fees are and.
Yeah, but what we're hearing is from Christine, is all of these fees could change. Why do we go into a detail of laying them all out?
Yeah.
A year from now, they may be different.
Right.
We should just have some kind
Just
of,
get rid of that.
yeah, there's some kind of statement in there,
Let's go to the town website.
website, check the town website, all the town office. Because those fees are, those aren't, I don't think accurate right now, are they?
well,
Ones are
It's hard
listed.
to say.
I
It
don't
may
think-
not be.
I don't believe that the accurate fees now,
it's not $2, it's more than $2.
so,
I think it's $3.
so, rather than put it in there, it's
For the
not.
garbage bag, trash
I would
bag.
say, don't remove the fees and just say refer to the town website.
Yeah. What fees?
And for pricing and hours, because the hours may change too. I don't know if you wanna say,
Remove fees and hours.
because we're renegotiating that in December.
So, Max, are we currently going to,
A good
just
chunk-
three paragraphs?
a good chunk of this, it sounds like just get rid of the solid waste and recycling, just say refer to the town website.
Yeah, because basically it is, because it's,
Well, you could say you can bring your own trash bag for a fee and say, if you want to know, they can drop, they don't have to have a hauler, they can hand deliver their own garbage bag at a price per bag.
That sentence is still there. Residents may contract on their own with private haulers for trash pickup, or may drop off their trash at the transfer station
For a fee.
for a fee.
Yep.
a little redo there, that's all.
And it's the center's open to West Bath. We have exclusive hours.
And will those, are those hours have to change, or are they gonna stay?
They're gonna change, but West Bath has exclusive access. Because it's in our location.
So, what's the best way to handle this whole recycle center?
And
Have the town office write up something?
It's general enough to be informative, but.
Yeah, it needs to be very general.
Because we can delete most all of
No,
this.
we have a transfer facility
Yep.
that's operated by Pine Tree Waste.
Yep.
You can take your trash there, like Suzanne said, for a fee.
West Bath has certain hours for
Yeah.
residents only,
Yeah, we have hours for residents only,
but most hours can go, I think.
yeah.
Alright. And just leave something that says refer to the town website on these hours and
Whatever you
What's
say,
accepted?
Acceptable.
anywhere you, so you've got the tonnage for setting out, remove any fees, that's all.
That's removed.
Yeah, okay.
Basically moving everything.
This includes the recycling program as well?
Yeah.
Well, I think that you need to say that you can recycle there, but you need to check and see what's recycled.
I would say recycling services are offered on the first and third Friday of every month.
They may not be.
Refer to the town website.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's on the street corner.
That's what comes to your,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
well, you say recycle,
I thought you were quoting the
Well, we don't-
times at the
We
dump.
just don't want to get too definite here, I don't think, because it's,
or just say that 2-day, are currently offered on the first and third Friday of every month.
Yeah, I think that's fair, because the recycling pickup will continue, we're just not sure what
And-
days.
and
It's
drive
gonna
up?
look different.
Drive up is, well, currently that's free also, but,
No, but we need to know, we should have the dates in there. It's gonna continue Tuesday afternoon from 3 to
Well,
5.
we don't know.
No,
Well,
that's
we don't know,
not what she's
that's it.
talking
So we're gonna say, so we're currently recycling, free recycling is offered on the first and third Friday of every month. Additionally, you may bring your own recycling to the town trash days for free. Just call it the
Okay.
town trash day,
Fine.
and that way it follows.
let's give Max a chance to write something up in general terms.
Yep.
Along the town office input,
The first and
Yeah.
third.
and then we do it later on,
That's
because
your
we
driveway.
go round and around.
Put your can up.
Yeah, but we
Right, the
don't-
town office
I don't do
input
it
is
either.
critical here.
we can't.
Yes,
That way we can avoid all this
We can-
argument about
let's
details,
just go with that.
details to go in, right?
It's not
We
convenient.
can do something general.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Let's go with trends, can we go to trends
This is the
now?
first.
Let's-
Yeah,
let's-
moving on to
moving on.
trends. I'll write something general, because
That's
it
what
look,
I write.
it sounds like it's gonna be a mess anyway, so
Well, it's in flux, that's the problem, because they're getting ready to
Right.
negotiate a new
We're
contract.
gonna move
Yes,
on, we're gonna
I'll-
move on to trends now, we're gonna move on.
And by the way, there's your answer for what yes, no, and not applicable is for what people thought about the emergency services.
Right there,
Where?
Table 9-1.
on 912, page 9.
Oh. So,
67%,
67.1%.
so they were positive.
So,
and almost a third didn't know.
so am I putting 67.1% over in this public safety?
You could, or you could just say a majority.
Strong majority.
Yeah,
Two-thirds majority.
2/3 majority.
Yeah, that's
what I'll
true.
say.
On the second
That
paragraph,
doesn't say it either.
I think a strong majority is a good, no number.
No number, because 67% sounds like, gosh, there's a third of people didn't like it. No, almost a third didn't know.
Right. I would say strong majority.
Strong majority.
No number.
Yeah, right.
Gray area.
you got,
All right.
on the second paragraph,
They can interpret it.
in the second paragraph,
Mm-hmm.
next to the last sentence, in the road commission to address local matters,
what page?
What paragraph?
trends,
What
the second
paragraph?
paragraph.
912.
Yeah, this has been that paragraph where we keep saying all these different things about regional resources, and road commissioner was just thrown into that sentence.
I think we should drop from where it says and road commission to address local matters. Doesn't,
Because someone wanted to have the road commissioner serves West Bath in there, which I didn't understand why that was being added in at that.
well, I would, unless Ian objects, I would say delete it.
I don't know what the,
So under trends, second paragraph,
Ian, road commissioner to address local matters.
oh,
I think we should drop from and road commissioner to address local matters, just drop
because
that.
that gets handled under the transportation section.
Yeah. All right,
All right. Then on to the next page.
first paragraph,
Mm-hmm.
middle where it says, the projected growth demand for West Bath constraining the capabilities of staff matters at the town hall and transfer station. It sounds like there are staff matters, members at the transfer station.
Get rid of transfer station. Okay.
Later in that paragraph, you could get rid of and an interactive sign at the fire department for posting public of events.
And just get rid of the interactive sign.
Yeah, because it's there.
It's there.
It's all in place.
And they haven't done, I suppose there's more energy they can do, okay, never mind.
All right. Anything else under 9:13?
The last paragraph, sort of in the middle, there's a sentence that's on the left margin that says Bath Sewer District and Bath Water District, who must find feasible methods of expanding further into West Bath. Beginning of that sentence says the amount of commercially zoned areas is primarily restricted by that. And now we're telling them they must find feasible methods of expanding further into West Bath. They say, who may find feasible. We can't tell them they must.
Yeah, good point.
I don't want to piss them off.
Why not?
All right.
Okay.
And then for the education section, it's,
We're gonna have to skip that.
yep. I
I know.
So where are we at? Just no responses?
I've sent everything. I called and talked with her.
Well, school is over
This week,
this week, I believe.
Yeah, I
tomorrow,
think so.
Wednesday, I think.
Send a friendly email.
Would you want to reach out to her? Oh, I could.
Yeah, I'll rattle her cage again. I don't know, the section isn't very long, so I hope she can get us the information soon.
I'd be glad to talk with her.
Okay.
All right.
One thing that you could change right now is in the second paragraph,
Okay.
Oh, which
third line.
This is education?
Yeah. Third line, a lunchroom slash auditorium, library, art rooms, a gymnasium. The auditorium and gymnasium are the same thing, I think.
The lunchroom, auditorium, and gymnasium were all the same room.
So it would be a lunchroom, auditorium / gymnasium.
It's all the same
No.
room.
Auditorium, lunchroom, gymnasium are all the
Oh,
same.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna strike the auditorium, gymnasium. So I'll just say through 5th grade, a lunchroom, library, art rooms, plus 2 outdoor.
Well,
Or do you want lunchroom / auditorium / gymnasium?
That's what
that'd be
I'm,
good.
yes,
That'd be
I,
good.
More
yes,
accurate.
lunchroom, it's all the same, make it
Lunch,
three.
It's not a slashing number.
they got basketball hoops in there, so you
Plus-
don't want
So is the luncheon.
Do you need to mention the outbuilding?
to,
What are the
no,
outbuildings?
basketball hoops in a lunchroom building.
I just want.
Okay, okay.
What are the
No,
outbuildings?
that was a gymnasium.
There was a greenhouse there, and there is a storage for paint and other things. There was a storage shed there. I don't know if it's still there or not now. Let's let the school read through this and decide first before we go too hard into it.
Right. That's the only comment I
And
had.
I will contact them this week.
And I have it saying limited school choice.
Hey! All right, so,
Thank you.
What about cultural resources?
Um,
What's next one?
Yep, we were just gonna get to that. What does he have here? He has the second to last paragraph. I think there should be mention made of the patent-free library, given the amount of financial support the town votes on every year to be participating municipality. The West Bath Historical Society arranges participation in the Town History Series and uses library space to restore archival materials.
I think that should be mentioned as well.
So mention it.
Yes. The town has put on a presentation of something every year.
Okay.
You might put that in paragraph 3 of public resources somehow. First one's talking about historical stuff, then there's the one around different groups, and then mid-coast interest anchored by the city of Bath and Both Towers.
Yeah, and then patent-free
Put
library.
it in there someplace,
transfer it.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else for public facilities and services? I saw one slam down on the table. Come on.
Moving right along.
Moving on to fiscal capacity and capital investment.
What are we looking at now?
Section 10. Fiscal capacity and capital investment.
Yes.
This, the fourth paragraph down, third sentence, it says, the committee works with the town treasurer, town administrator, and members of West Bath. He works with all of us, I drop members in the West Bath School Select Board.
Okay. I had one note at the last sentence, so that's in paragraph. This fund is replenished each year to a maximum of $50,000.
Yep.
Anything else for page 1?
No more chats.
Everyone loves charts.
These are good ones.
I did note the green and red ink.
I like it.
You all like those different, you all like the green and red. And for table 10-1, I'll just need the most recent tax violation I just had for in 2022. And then table 10-3, that's something that was included for the municipal revenues. Anything on pages 10-2 or 10-3? Have any issues with charts? 10-4. Let's see, what does it have here? Why is cemetery maintenance given a line item when there's no expenditure listed? What does community support refer to? Which, again, I think I had.
Well, there is so-called cemetery maintenance as far as mowing goes.
Okay.
There is a miscellaneous
The
cemetery
fund.
trust fund.
Yeah.
The town in the process of trying to close out because it can't be used. So I guess it,
You can put it covered under town maintenance, I mean,
Yeah, that's where the mowing is paid for.
all that's under town,
So it's just-
Cemeteries isn't
Just check it out.
covered anymore.
show the other operations in that grid, or no?
You mean for year 2010, 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just need to actually.
No, I just didn't know, I was, yes, I
Yeah.
was just curious, or anything else.
All right,
Then I have 2015 in the year, because it seems like that's when the limited school choice policy was enacted, but that's at least what I.
You got one more year to go, so,
No, but what the committee wanted was,
1.5.
when it, like, over the 10-year period, what it was at the beginning of the decade, and then when school choice was implemented, and then what it was at the end of the decade, to show the difference over the 3 years. That's what I recall the committee requesting.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I guess if we have 1 year left on it in the school thing.
Well, yeah, but that's something that would just be under the education section for
Yeah.
public services. So, all right, moving on to page 5. Okay, page 5. If not, we'll go to page 6.
I just thought we should add town meeting to the very first item, town road upgrades. And the second to the last, marine infrastructure, town meeting.
When did we have a bond,
Now what?
under debt service
Oh, this is on page 5.
and 5?
We've had debt service before.
Yeah,
We farm.
your last plan, you said that there was like a couple thousand in there, and then this
Should we
one.
say that we paid it off when we had it?
Yeah, I thought
Our
that,
last bond we had was what date?
It wasn't a bond, I don't believe, it was just a loan.
We should say we took it out and had paid it off, so it shows that we're,
No, but that's not really relevant at this point. We just don't have any debt, period.
but we brought up, we had a bond, we just didn't say what it was for.
Right.
I don't,
It doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
we'll let it go.
yeah, for this paragraph, you don't really have to describe what the bond used to be, because your old comp plan kind of refers to that anyways. This is just saying,
We
as of
have
this
zero
year,
debt.
no debt. This thing is double.
All right,
All right, was there any other changes to page 6?
Page 5 or 6?
6. When we get into the capital investment plan.
I'm wondering about these estimated costs, high, everything's high.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's true, it is.
is it wrong?
But none of it's as high as the town road upgrades. That's part of our big challenge, looking down the road, so I understand it.
You want to put very high?
Yeah,
extra high.
very high.
I think this, I
Broadband, I think, is a priority.
think as we have capital investment plans of low, medium, and high. So that's what those are, 3 choices there.
Well, you can make another tier if you want to, it's just,
No.
I think it's good. I mean, we know roads are high, we know fire trucks are high.
But is to the cost to the town of upgrading broadband, is it anywhere near the cost of the town of road
Depends
building
on what
and
it is.
maintenance?
Could be $250,000.
It could be, it could be. If the bid, the grant that we're having a contributing piece to was, I want to say it was like $150 per resident.
So it's like $237,000.
So it's not, I mean, if we went down that path,
I think it's fine if we keep those 3 low, medium, highs. It's not gonna make much difference in the plan.
Okay.
We know it's all high, no matter what we
I
do.
just-
There are no low and medium costs anymore.
I don't think that West Bath School is a medium, that's a high cost on page 10.7.
We're still on 10.6 right now.
well, this chart's a bit big and over.
I think that we're in the medium cost anymore.
I think it's a high cost.
No, I'm saying, where are the medium cost? Vehicles?
I was gonna say there's not even a low cost on here.
No, that's what I mean. Well, you have your vehicles,
There's vehicles.
priority is low, but I don't think it's gonna make much difference, but they can all be high cost, let's put it that way.
Or do we have a dollar figure associated with each level?
There is.
Yeah, it's like low is up to 100,000, medium would be 100 to 500, high would be 500. You could change it so that low's up to 250, I doubt that changes it for
So
anything.
broadband's then not a high cost, it's a medium cost.
Right.
I mean, that's my point, I don't think
I didn't connect it to that part.
I
Okay,
mean,
it's not,
yeah, I mean,
it's not gonna make a big difference in the plan at all, in the comp plan.
No, I know, but it's,
I'm
broadband's not $500,000 though, it's not.
Well,
and then
it might be 10 years.
for this key, I'm gonna get rid of the Main State Housing Authority because I don't think that's even referenced in the table.
All right?
are we gonna, I wanna ask one other question on that.
Yep.
Would we be expected to, spend $500,000 making municipal buildings energy efficient?
100 to 500,000.
Or technical upgrades, it's not gonna be $500,000 either.
No, it could be 1 to 2. Oh wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I see what you're talking about now.
Making municipal buildings energy efficient should not be high.
Nor
Estimated
should the
cost.
technical upgrades. They should be low.
Well, that's medium right now.
Good, it's not, we're not gonna go over $100,000 for a technical upgrade.
So I'll switch both of them to low. I mean, it's not like the state's gonna come in here and say, oh, you spent $5 over $100,000.
I'm more worried about the citizens.
Yeah,
Right. So I'm saying I'm fine moving it to low. That's what I'm saying, fine moving it to low.
Okay,
But what else make us ADA compliant is not gonna be $500,000, which
No.
is, so we need to go back and really do the, look at the estimated cost on these.
I'll put that, I'm gonna put that one.
All municipal buildings, it could be under.
Not half.
easily.
I'm gonna make
Right,
that,
What-
all right.
What's the,
So make
That
that
was
a
up to
medium.
100.
Yeah,
100,000 to
so I'm updating
500,000
this.
is medium.
Low.
I'm updating this saying ADA accessibility will be medium cost, energy efficiency is low, low cost. Technical upgrades,
Low.
improvement administrative is low, and then
Land
broadband is medium expense, or medium cost, improvements to West Bath School is high.
Do you think land trusts are high? For $500,000? I don't think we-
If the town decided to actually purchase some land for that, but I don't think they ever would. It could be high for somebody, because it could be,
Well, it could also be high if the town get involved with trails and everything else. In buying land and surveying and laying out trails, it can be awful expensive, so I just don't think we should get too involved in this high, low, medium, but,
Well, I think, but I don't want our residents to be like, what are you guys spending this on?
well, they all know it's gonna be high. It's, no matter what you do, it's gonna be high, so
Yeah.
let's move on.
thank you for reconsidering some of those.
They're thrown out now. And then after table 10-7 for the roads, that's something that just has to be put together for the municipal review because it's a moving target, right?
Yes, it is. What kind of information does the state need to see around that?
It would just be an idea of like, I don't know, any culverts in mind or segments of road that are that big of an issue, like
First point.
whatever first one is.
Possible coastal flooding on roads.
Could be that, like you just had the storm that happened, some towns are looking at all the culverts that were impacted, it's like, oh, well, that one probably should have been upgraded, so that's gonna be on our list, or that segment of road is so low, even though, you know, the culvert's fine, so we should take that into consideration.
Maybe the Austin Road.
Or even just like general maintenance of certain roads, like this road uses a lot more, expense to the town. I can go with that if you'd like. It doesn't have to be too elaborate. And then regional cooperation, just finishing off 7 and 8.
I don't know about that relationship with the close council of governments.
Shaky at best, huh?
Strong,
They take,
very strong.
they take forever getting outlines done.
They noticed that.
Anything else for section 10? Hearing none, we can move on to section 12, land use.
No,
Section 11.
I didn't have 11 in mind.
Transportation.
Yeah, that's because I gave you Leah's and she didn't have any changes on
Sure,
it.
yes.
Oh, that's fine.
And in fact, I really don't think there are any changes in 11,
I don't know.
having gone through
I
it
feel like
twice.
okay, I feel like we did transportation last time because there weren't that many changes.
I didn't have any changes.
Did any? Okay, before I do it, does anyone have any changes?
I don't
I
know.
have one little tiny word.
You know, somehow I figured you did. So everyone.
Two-letter word, just to be added.
All right, where are we looking?
1, 2, 3, fourth paragraph.
On first page?
Yep.
Okay.
Middle of the next to the last line in the fourth paragraph. Local roads, which are most of West Bath roads. Add up, and I'm done.
We'll give it to you.
All right, I'll take it.
I have one other little one on page 2.
Oh, you're killing me.
Hey, it's correct, right?
I read this stuff.
Yeah.
I did too. I missed those.
Obviously,
Urban compact
Well,
municipalities, top of page 2.
All right.
Third line of the first paragraph.
Third line, first paragraph.
These areas generate high traffic volumes on State Road, US Route 1, and the southern end of New Meadows Road in West Bath.
They also generate areas by the school, and a lot of traffic comes from East Brunswick.
That's still the southern end.
No,
no, it's not.
it's the northern end.
That's the northern end.
There's a lot of traffic comes from past the school.
Yeah.
But
But
what,
from Salesforce.
but if you read the whole paragraph, it's not designated as an urban compact municipality. However, West Bath is adjacent to 2 state-defined urban compact municipalities, Brunswick and Bath.
You're right.
These areas generate high traffic volumes on State Road, US 1, and it's the exit off US 1
Which
down the southern end to State Road.
No, there's a lot of traffic comes from East Brunswick, down
Back
Lower
road.
Bath Road,
They come
and
back.
down the Meadows by the school. A
Okay,
lot of traffic comes down there. A lot.
okay, you scratched my idea.
Your number 2 is bold, Matt.
I have one correction on the top and the background on the second,
What page?
First page.
first page, first paragraph, second line. It said, patterns in the town of West Bath and take that in out, the surrounding region. There's an in after the and. Town of West Bath and,
Surrounding.
take that in out.
Okay.
Max. Number 2 on the second page is bold. I produced a magazine.
See, I'm not the only one fussing at you for this one.
Well, those little things are important in the long run.
It is. It's,
For 10 years, it's gonna be important.
it is.
And someone else can deal with it.
All right, anything else for section 11?
In 10 years, this will be a piece of cake for you to print the whole thing on.
You gonna come back to us, Max?
Section 11, yeah, so, 10 years from now, I'm gonna have someone else do this.
There you go.
Max is gonna be the major department department head.
Land use, that
That's a
was,
good one.
that was conservation committee today, compensation committee today. They have not finished reviewing this for the planning board,
Okay.
so I think we should wait until she's here with reviews from the planning board as far as section 12 goes.
I think it's also scheduled as a workshop tomorrow night.
Well, in that, and